Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.
Hello, John Paul.
Hello, Leon.
How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for you finished.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm kind of regretting asking a question because I didn't actually want to respond. So I feel like that was my fault, and I apologize to our listeners for putting them through that process of pretending to care when I don't.
And really just wasting their time. Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much. No, I do care. John Paul, it's been some time since we've spoken due to prolonged illness on my part. You were one of the last people I spoke to in what I thought were one of my last living hours. Before I had my fever dreams.
Yes.
And so that was a time for everyone. But I'm glad that we're back. I'm in a cupboard this week.
Great.
Which is cozy.
Yeah, it would be.
But I hope it helps the audio. If it doesn't, I'll probably stay here anyway. Like, it's just nice, really.
Well, if this show has proved, anything to its listeners, it's all about the audio, Leon.
Oh, it's all about the audio, and it's all about me. I'm just staring at shirts, really. Like, I'm just staring at some good shirts that I own.
Great.
Just remembering all the good times I've had.
Living the Australian dream, Leon.
I think so. This is what they're talking about. Well, I couldn't bloody afford this cupboard anyway, could I, with the bloody housing market and the bloody politics, from what I'm aware of. John Paul, on this show, I'm led to believe that we talk about vines.
Yeah, people have told me.
That's what I keep getting told. People keep yelling at me on the street. They're like, you talk about vines on the show? And I'm like, all right, that's a weird time to share it with me. This week, we're talking about a vine that once more I was unfamiliar with. And we've talked about this again in terms of you bringing this to me, catching me off guard. And it's not, we'll talk about it off air because I think it's a longer conversation between the two of us about how to proceed.
Indeed.
And how long your ban will be for. But we're going to talk about Snake, Take Me Away.
Indeed we are.
And because I've just never, ever seen it before, I'd love it, John Paul, if you could paint me a word picture.
Okay, I'll certainly try to, Leon. I'd like to thank Sam, one of our listeners, for sending this vine into us and asking us to have a look at it. And so here we are. Here's the word picture.
You need a lozenge?
No, I'm all good.
I've got to edit
just doing
that.
My traditional vocal warm-ups.
Like I have to listen to that again.
I've hurt myself doing that, actually. Ow.
Not the preferred method.
I don't think so. Anyway, Snake, Take Me Away. Take 2. A young man sits, deep in thought, at what looks like a classroom desk. The camera zooms slowly to reveal that wrapped around the young man's fist is what looks like a python. The man removes the python from in front of his face to reveal that he's sucking on a lollipop. Fascinating. He removes the lollipop from his mouth and offers it to the python. And as Natasha Bedingfield sings Take Me Away, a Sweet Escape, the python accepts, extending his tongue to indulge in his sweet escape. And that's where the vine ends.
Poetic.
I really went down sort of an adult novel direction with that word picture I found.
Yes, Snake in this is his penis. We weren't clear on that, I don't think.
Yeah, no, it is
confronting.
These are my first sort of drafts of the next 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Snake. See what I tried?
We'll workshop that one.
Off air during your review meeting. What I like about this one is the way that the snake, like the word entitled is thrown around a lot nowadays as millennials, but the snake does have this element of being entitled to the lollipop. Like the guy puts the lollipop in front of the snake's face and he's like, yes, thank you. This is what we do every day. I have some of this lollipop because it is what I have earned in the time of me doing just snake things.
Yeah, well, look, Leon, if I had a python that close to my face, I would frankly give it, whatever it wants. I would not hesitate. I would, I'd just, take it. Take it all. Take the whole lollipop.
Take it away. Mm-hmm. I want to know about flavour of this lollipop, though, because we're not in what we assume is America.
Yeah.
And we don't know about their crazy lollipop flavours there, but it is a deep red, which could mean cherry. Mm-hmm. It could also mean a dark cherry.
Dark cherry, yeah.
Could be a sour cherry. I'm thinking it's cherry related.
What are more cherry variations of flavours?
You've got your normal cherry, your sweet cherry, your sour cherry, your dark cherry, your light cherry.
Absolutely.
Your plum cherries, your grape cherries, strawberry cherries, which is fun to say.
Yeah, it definitely looks bigger than your average Chubba Chub that you would find in Australia. That's what sort of lends me to believe that it's America. And I would guess, given the colour, I'm actually going to go away from you, Leon. I think it would be grapefruit. No, not grapefruit. Grape, just like a grape.
Oh, right, just grape. I was going to say, grapefruit would be a horrible flavour.
Yeah, I didn't mean grapefruit. I meant like a grape fruit flavour.
Right, the fruit that is grape.
Yes, the fruits that are grapes is the infused flavour in that lollipop.
And now I just need to, because the listeners are all sitting there and they're asking the question, did you say Chubba Chub with bees?
I think so.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Chuppa Chup with peas.
Is it really?
It sure is.
Wow.
It has been since, let me just quickly do a really brief Google search for Chuppa Chups, and I will get back to you in terms of 1958. That's how long it's been Chuppa Chups.
1958. Well, in that respect, I have spent my entire life pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah.
So,
and that's something that I'm glad we've worked through together here with our fans.
In my defense, the packaging is so small, and I don't read it.
Well, see, I think that's more the problem, because the packaging to me, like where you would pull your Chuppa Chup from, is quite loud and proud.
Yeah.
But if you're not reading it, that doesn't, that's kind of...
Well, that's right.
That's more on you.
I guess I should count myself lucky that my children don't call them that. They just call them lollipops. So that's good.
I was going to think you were going to say that it's just like you don't provide your children with treats because, they don't deserve them or something.
Nah. They get lollipops.
Yeah. Chuppa Chup's a good treat. Anyway, diverting from, well, kind of. But anyway, so on a scale of 1 to Vine, John Paul, 1 being the lowest and Vine being a grape-flavoured lollipop, where do you rate this Vine?
Well, look, Leon, given that this is our first viewer-submitted Vine, and quite a nice mashup of sort of an original Vine and a nice little Natasha nugget, as I like to call her greatest hits. I would have to give this. Look, I think a 9 out of Vine would be appropriate.
Fitting. No, that does seem appropriate.
Yep.
And who's Sam again?
Sam, one of our listeners. He actually goes to my university.
Right, so he's a university friend. So there is
a
favoritism involved in this choice, which I understand. I think I'm going to give it. I'd give it a 7 or an 8. It's a strong Vine, but it's a predictable Vine.
It's a good-looking snake.
It's a good-looking snake. If the snake took a massive, if it bit the entire lollipop, now that would be, that's a 10 out of 10 Vine.
I mean, that'd be, you would, no question. No question there.
But yeah, I think I'll sit at a 7 or 8. John Paul, as we come to the close of the show, a friend of mine from the other podcast that I do that we don't talk about on here because that would be wrong to cross-promote G'day, the podcast, with this, the Complete Guide to Australia, and this Do It for the Vine Review podcast. We wouldn't cross-promote the two things.
No. I wouldn't hear of it.
No, but a friend of mine from there and from the internet in general, Ali Shantz, or as we refer to her, Ali Shit My Pants Shantz, even though her last name is actually Shantz. She sent me a picture the other day of a bunch of little folded notes. Again, I'm not the one that paints word pictures here, but pieces of paper that you would write notes on, all folded up. And on one of them, I could see the word yeet. And I went, oh, this is great. This is Vine-related content.
Yeah.
And then Ali explained to me that when Vines shut down, one of her students at the time was so distressed by this that they started creating paper Vines.
Right.
And they may have created some original content, I'm too sure, but there were definitely yeets on there and stuff like that. And that's the kind of commitment that I want from our listeners. That's the kind of commitment that I try to bring each week into this Vine podcast, is that if Vines went down again after coming back up, I'd go paper.
Go paper. Okay.
I'd commit to it, because that's what they mean to me, and that's what our audience means to me.
Yeah.
And if this podcast goes down, we're going paper.
We're going paper. Right. Yeah. We'll just write down all our thoughts about Vines and just sort of send them out in a weekly newsletter.
Yeah, I think it's essentially what we're doing, just talk form. So that sounds good. Yeah, I think that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Probably take a lot less time. Do you want to do that actually instead? I'm not sure if this is the best medium anymore.
What do you mean it'd take less time? That's crazy talk.
No, yeah, so we're all having fun here. If you have any Vine-related content questions, suggestions, or that, you can send them to us either on Facebook or Twitter. I think it's @forthevinepod, or you can send it to our email, which is doitforthevinepod@gmail.com.
Excellent.
As always, we'd like to thank Simon Blackburn for our wonderful cover art and Curtis Fernance for our wonderful theme tune sick. And I think I said Fernance when I should have said Fernance.
Yes, you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, Leon.
I sure did. My syllables are all mixed up.
Oh, dear.
So I think that will do it for this week. And John Paul, wherever you are, whatever you do,
do it for the Vinay.
Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.